I've been in survival mode my entire life, grinding, hustling, fixing, pushing, and forcing. But recently I had to face a very painful truth. I've never known a life of ease. And the moment I realized that really broke my heart, but it was also liberating because there's something that I can do about it. Here I'm going to share with you my personal story about burnout and ease, talk about resistance to ease, and share some tangible steps that I have taken to welcome more ease. I'll also be sharing something very special with y'all, so make sure you watch until the end. We always begin with gratitude, so I want to thank you for being here in this space. Peace, I am LA, licensed therapist, holistic wellness coach, and guide, and the creator of this channel, Reconnect with You. Let's start with my personal story about burnout and ease. And that happened a few years ago when I took an extended leave from work. I was off work for 2 months. And this was the first time in my life that I had ever truly met ease. This was my first experience of deep rest. And this time off work was the first time in my life when I was able to focus solely on myself and taking care of my health and well-being. And that was a really transformative and healing and reparative experience for me. But I did not approach that experience with open arms at first. And if I'm being honest, I was kind of forced into that position. And I won't go into the details here. I may do a separate video where I talk really specifically about my leave and what that was like for me, especially as a licensed therapist. But simply put, had I not taken that leave, I can say with a lot of certainty that I would not be here right now. So this was a decision that I made because I felt like I had to. And not long after I made this decision to take the leave, I practiced acceptance around it. It was something that I saw as necessary and something that, something that I had hoped would be really restorative for me, and it was. In fact, sometimes when I think about that time in my life, I miss who I was then and how free I was and how much courage I had to be able to make the decision of, I don't know what this is going to look like on the other end, but I am trusting that this is what I need right now. And I am so grateful to my past self for making that decision and really walking that path, just for everything that it gave me, the ways that me in this moment continue to be grateful for that experience. I want to contrast that experience with a more recent one that I had, and this is where resistance comes in. So when I think about the time in my life when I took that leave and what that was like for me, there was this trust that I had, this deep inner knowing that that was what I needed to do. And at the time, I did not have any paid leave. So this would have been, or paid time off. I didn't have paid time off. So this was going to be 2 months off work without any pay. And that was one of the things that gave me pause when I was considering whether or not to take the leave. When I think about how I approached that entire situation, including how I spent my time over the course of those 2 months, there was this trust that was there. It was almost like I was jumping out of a plane and I didn't know if I had a parachute or not. And it was really scary, but it was also, there was this calm that I had and this peace that came over me to where I knew that I was going to be taken care of, bills were going to be paid, and they were. Money and support and resources were pouring in from all of these different sources that I did not anticipate, and I didn't have to do anything at all to get my needs met. It was almost like by letting go and releasing, I was allowing myself to be taken care of, and I was creating space and room for those resources to come in rather than trying to control the situation and make it happen myself. Fast forward to present day. Not long ago, I was behind on rent, and a few months behind on rent. And aside from the one-time scare my freshman year of college, this has never happened before in all I believe it's been maybe 20 years or around there that I've been on my own. I have never ever been behind on rent. I was shook. This was a really scary moment and situation for me. I had a lot of shame around it. And it was also something that I felt guilty about. How did I let this happen? What did I do wrong? And all of the monkey mind and the mind chatter that can come in when we are experiencing challenges in our lives sometimes. And I sat with myself as I was thinking about how to problem solve around this, how to welcome the resources or how to access the resources so that I could pay my rent. And I did everything that I thought to do. I was applying for grants. I was contacting all kinds of local community resource organizations. I still have I believe it's 3 pages now, a Word document that I created around all of the resources that I learned about, who I talked to on what day. And also I was applying for jobs. I was applying for I believe they're like gigs. So DoorDash, TaskRabbit, all of the things. I was doing all of the things, and I'm not even naming everything that I did, but I wanted to just give you an idea of all of the ways in which I was doing this. I was out here trying to go and get it, trying to force it, trying to control a situation that felt completely out of my control and bring balance back to that situation. And guess what? The rent did not get paid. And it couldn't have been because I wasn't doing enough. Because when I think about that time, I was running myself ragged, and I think being really unkind to my body and to my nervous system, because there were some nights I was staying up really late, only getting 1 to 2 hours of sleep, and also really pushing myself, I think, far beyond my limit. So it couldn't have been that I wasn't doing enough. So what was the issue? What was it that I was doing wrong? I was putting in so many hours, expending so much time, effort, and energy to fix things and to try to access the income and the money and the funds that I needed to pay my rent. So what was I doing wrong? And I think at least what came up for me in my ongoing reflection is that I was trying to control everything. I was exerting way too much effort and energy instead of more allowing, more relaxing, more trusting. And this particular situation brought me to think about the big picture of my life. And I kind of zoomed out, and I realized that this is the way that I've been living my life my entire life. I have always been doing and producing and grinding and hustling, even from the time I was a little girl. I am the oldest of 7, so I was the oldest of 7, yes, but I have 6 younger siblings, and I had a lot of responsibility at a young age to help take care of my siblings. So this, in other words, has been my life. And that felt really sobering for me. It made me sad to think about all of the rest that I have not gotten, all of the ways that I have been unkind to my body, the opportunities and other things that I've missed out on because I've been maybe so tired and so exhausted from all of the doing and the grinding and the hustling. And what I have realized since then is that ease and slowing down is not something that we need to earn. It is unkind to ourselves to say, well, after I do this, or I need to work 100 hours before I can rest or before I can take a break. Ease is something that we allow. It's something that you can create. And I'm going to talk in a moment about some specific steps that you can take to welcome more ease into your life. But your nervous system needs rest. It needs ease so that you can feel safe within your body. You will be surprised at how much tension we carry in our bodies, in our hands, in our shoulders, from all of the doing and all of the forcing and all of the clinging that we do. And I am thinking too about when I took my extended leave, and as grateful as I am to myself for that decision, it is unfortunate to me sometimes when I think about the fact that I made that decision after being pushed to an extreme, and that should not be a prerequisite for ease or for rest or taking a break. I want to invite you to reflect with me. Have you ever noticed how ease can feel unsafe sometimes? It can feel something impossible, something that is out of reach for you because you are so used to grinding and hustling and doing and being on the go, as I like to say. And ease can almost feel foreign, like it's something that you're not even used to, and so it feels unsafe. It is unfamiliar, so it is something that your body registers and even your mind registers as unsafe, as something that you don't want to do, and that's where that resistance can come in. I want to talk briefly about a misconception about ease. Ease does not mean that you're doing nothing. Ease is about changing the way that you do what you do. It's about changing the energy that you bring to what it is that you do. And I am very excited to share with y'all that I am choosing to live my life differently. I have been making conscious choices every single day since I had this realization and have been reflecting on it to live differently. And I don't know what's on the other side of that. But that's the beautiful part of it, I think, because I'm thinking back to when I took my leave. I didn't know what things would be like then, but I stuck with the process. I trusted it. And I came out on the other end just so triumphant. I was so grounded spiritually, mentally, emotionally on the other side of that. I went back to work really calm, really confident in who I was. And that's because I allowed myself to slow all the way down. And this is why I created the ease experiment. And the ease experiment is not a challenge. It is a daily series of presence. It is my invitation to you to slow down with me. And it's a personal and collective exploration around slowing down, but also all of the different things that might come up for us when we take a break, when we slow down, when we need a pause for whatever reason. And it's really a time to be present and to choose ease in a world that is constantly emphasizing grinding and hustling and doing. You have to do more in order to receive more. And that is a lie. A lie that I am very sad that I ever believed. And I'm doing this because I'm tired. Because the old way of living is not working for me anymore. It does not feel natural to me. And getting out of survival mode, that's what this is about. And grind and hustle culture has taken so much from me. It also almost took me from me. And I want to explore what it looks like to fully slow down, to recover, to care for and calm my nervous system, to reconnect with myself and my body one day at a time. And I want to invite you on that journey with me. The ease experiment is going to focus on two things, and that is mindfulness and nervous system care. So this practice is going to be all about practicing awareness and presence, true presence in everyday moments, and nervous system care, where this is going to be supporting the mind, the body, and the spirit, and moving from being in this energy of stress and constant doing to really achieving this balance and this safety in your body. I will be sharing on my channel throughout the month of September, every single day in September, which I've never done on my channel before. I have never posted every day. So I am a little nervous about it, but very excited to challenge myself in that way and also take y'all on this journey with me. I would love for you to join the ease experiment again the entire month of September. I will be doing daily practices, reflections, and nervous system care strategies that I am using, that I'm learning, and also sharing with you what I'm noticing as I'm making these changes in my life. Don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss the first video where I take a deeper dive into the first practice that I will be beginning the series with. I end each and every video with a reflection prompt for journaling or even just general reflection. And my question for you for today's video is, where in your life does ease feel impossible? And what is one small step you can take over the next week to reach for or welcome ease? Lastly, I want to share with you my new sound meditation, which is free and available to stream and download. It is called Clarity and Stillness, and it is perfect for the ease experiment. It is also perfect just for any time you want to slow down or you feel like you need a moment of stillness. That link will be included down in the description of this video. Well, that is all I have for y'all for today. I look forward to connecting with y'all again soon, but in the meantime, reconnect with you. Peace, y'all.